When I was in school, the only things I ever heard about nuclear power plants were the scary stories, meltdowns, radiation, and disaster movies. But what if I told you there's a whole other side to nuclear energy that rarely gets talked about? I wish someone had explained the science, the innovation, and the potential of nuclear power, instead of just focusing on the fear. Because as it turns out, there's so much more to the story than what we see in headlines or Hollywood films. Nuclear power is actually one of the most fascinating and misunderstood technologies shaping our world today. So let's dive in together and unravel the real story. Imagine a nuclear power plant as a super high-tech kettle, except instead of boiling water with fire, it uses the power locked inside atoms. Here's how it works. Inside the reactor, tiny atoms, usually uranium, are split apart in a process called nuclear fission. This isn't just any split, it's a controlled chain reaction that releases a massive amount of energy. When these atoms split, they unleash an incredible amount of heat, far more than you'd get from burning coal or gas. This heat is used to turn water into steam, just like a kettle, but on a gigantic scale. The steam then spins enormous turbines, which are connected to generators. These generators produce electricity that powers our homes, schools, hospitals, and entire cities. Here's something that blew my mind. A single pellet of nuclear fuel, about the size of your fingertip, can produce as much energy as a ton of coal or nearly 150 gallons of oil. That's a huge amount of power packed into something so tiny. And unlike coal or gas plants, nuclear power stations don't release clouds of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases into the air. What you see coming out of those big cooling towers? That's just water vapor, plain old steam. This is a big deal for our planet. With climate change threatening our future, finding clean energy sources is more important than ever. Nuclear energy is one of the few options that can provide massive amounts of electricity without polluting the air. That's why so many scientists and energy experts believe nuclear power could play a key role in fighting global warming. It's already helping countries around the world reduce their carbon footprints and transition away from fossil fuels. Of course, nuclear energy isn't without its challenges. People worry about safety, accidents, and what happens to radioactive waste. These are real concerns, and they deserve honest answers. But here's what's changed. Today's nuclear plants are built with multiple layers of safety systems. Engineers and scientists are constantly monitoring and improving these systems to make sure accidents are extremely unlikely. Plus, new reactor designs, like small modular reactors and next-generation technologies, are even safer and more efficient. Some can even use recycled nuclear waste as fuel, reducing the amount of waste we need to store. Speaking of waste, most of it is stored securely on site in specially designed containers or pools. Over time, scientists are developing better ways to recycle or safely store this material for the long term. Around the world,